Oh, it's the Rebel Scum podcast. The intro is not working. It's not playing. It's frozen on the screen. Hi.
All right.
Good. I don't know what happened there.
Whoa, whoa,
Sorry about
whoa.
that. Rebel Scum podcast episode 281 coming at you on the Rebel Scum podcast network. Hi. Hi, Brock.
Hello. Patreon.com/please fix our equipment. What's up, James? What a day. What a week. What a time to be alive. We're in celebration. I feel like if we had recorded on a normal day, we would have been like, oh, the Mandalorian did this, and I was very happy. And then, nope. Thank God we rescheduled. Because, good Lord, the news that burst out.
Did you like this week's Mandalorian episode?
I will say this, and I hate to say it because it's a Bryce Dallas Howard episode. It's good. It's the least exciting of the episode so far. Is it a well done episode? Sure. It's like my initial response after watching was like, this Clone Wars come to life. Why are you sitting like that? You work in broadcasting.
Like,
you're you a schlub?
Because you're talking. You're talking, and I'm taking the back seat. You're talking. I felt like saying about Gleek Play One's here.
Oh, okay. I'm glad.
Whenever
we're together in real life, I'm just gonna sit back like this.
I'm just like, you're talking.
People are watching us.
I'm sitting back to listen.
We are two white guys talking about Star Wars. Like,
I got
we're
a Mario
not
Brothers
special.
sweater here. I'm just sitting here listening to what you guys say.
Super Mario Bros. Movie. Saw it today. Fantastic movie. Anyways, review of Mandalorian episode 6 of this season.
Six,
good.
20. I don't know.
Enjoyable. 20. It's just enjoyable. Just not my favorite. Like it was quality. It is exactly what we need in Star Wars. But it was like, this is great.
I think that's exactly what we said after Bryce Dallas Howard's episode in the first season of Mandalorian. It's a necessary evil, but it was people are complaining. I'm like, but this is an episode. If this was animated 15 years ago, you'd be like drooling nonstop at this episode. But because it's live action and you've suddenly decided to turn on the Mandalorian, you hate it. Like anyway, it was a fine. It wasn't my favorite. It wasn't my least favorite. It was Christopher Lloyd, Jack Black. And I had no idea what a Lizzo was. I just found out. I am all in on the Lizzo now. I listened to all of Lizzo's tunes. She played like an accordion from the year 20 or 19, 1800. I don't know. It was an old time ago. I'm all in on Lizzo. I know everything I need to know about the Lizzo.
I mean, I got to give big ups to Favreau and Filoni or whoever made the call on casting her. I was like, this is because she dressed up like Grogu for Halloween, like prior to COVID or during COVID. Or I'm like, yeah. I don't know. I will say, like, the cameos took me out of it, but they did a great job. I mean, like I said earlier, like Jack Black, the way he looks, he looks like the animation style of Clone Wars. I'm like, he would fit perfect.
I think of all like the comedians that they've got on these shows, like all of them. Horatio Sands doesn't count because they dolled him up, but I think he fit the most, and he fit that role like so well. He didn't take me out of it. Lizzo didn't take me out of it. She wasn't very good. Her acting wasn't very good. Didn't take me out of it. I just thought she was a bad actress.
She didn't really do anything.
Well, she talked, and maybe they should. Yeah. But I was like, yeah, she was. I didn't know who she was. I honestly didn't know who she was. So my opinion is based on nothing other than the acting. Was still better than somebody who I won't say. And then Christopher Lloyd finally showed up, which we were all expecting. Some Christopher Lloyd. Hi, Disney. Does it just showed up? So it was, for me, it was a fine episode. It was a necessary episode.
Yeah.
And look, things are brewing, and I think it's really, we're getting to a point. And they did at Celebration. They showed the next episode. They showed at Celebration the whole thing. So it will be ruined for everybody by the end of right now. But apparently it's mind blowing and phenomenal. We'll see. But apparently it's fantastic.
I think Bryce Dallas Howard knows how to direct a show or whatever movie or whatever you want to call it, like that focuses around a group of people. Like I think the story of, well, I shouldn't assume she wrote it. She didn't write it, but like she knows how to direct a piece of film that looks at a community and like gives it heart. Like the community, like the community of people that are getting attacked by all these aliens in the first season, and then also this one. Like I love the idea of like droids just want to be wanted, right? So like they've reclaimed, like they've allowed separatist robots or like whatever to like be a part of the servant, and it's like they don't even want to like get revenge, they just want to exist. And it's just like they are, because they were, you know, killing machines, like the administrator was able to like take advantage of that. I was just like, I thought that was good. And it's like, I feel like if this doesn't push enough to the story, which I would disagree, like it's kind of cool to see like Bo-Katan's Mandalorians like actually talk in this season. So it's like it's solid, and it's like, oh, they got an army now. So, or not an army, or like a fleet. So like that's kind of exciting. Yeah, it's just like we had a whole 4 episodes of just like boom, 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 boom. She's the chosen one. You're like, whoa. So I don't know. I loved it. I think it gives color to it, you know.
Yeah, it was a fine episode. It went back to season 2 for me, which was like mission of the week style. Like, we need to get that. And they're like, well, if you want that, you got to do this first. I was like, oh, we're back to this store. Fine, whatever. We're back to it. All right, let's move on. I woke up today at, I don't know what it was, 7:30, 8:30 in the morning Eastern time, whatever it was. And I had a message on my phone from Rob McDonald and a message on my phone from Phil Standiforth, Patreon's Phil Standiforth. I think it was a Patreon message. And they both were like, the news. And Rob sent me the Variety article of Rey Skywalker returning. She is getting a movie. And that was the first thing I read. And I said, yeah, is she though? And then I read the article. And Bespin Bulletin a few weeks ago, they said that there was going to be 3 movies announced at Celebration. I thought that was a terrible idea. Lucasfilm disagreed, and they announced 3 movies. One of which is not going to happen. Can we just like the odds are ever in our favor? Mangold Rey Skywalker, Filoni, Mandoverse motion picture.
Yeah.
What did you wake up to today?
You sent me the link, so.
Oh, it was me. I broke the news.
I went to church this morning.
Wait, you went that early? It was like 6 a.m.
I can't remember when you texted me. Was that?
Well, I didn't text you at 6 a.m., but the news was dropped at like that time.
But anyways, like, no, I mean, these are all very exciting. I feel they haven't really done this before, where they actually tell you what it's going to be about, but they kind of have. I don't know. I think when it's like announcing a director and then also announcing the project, it's like that doesn't seem to happen a ton. Like, I guess Acolyte, they kind of sort of did that, but like I like the idea. So yeah, go ahead.
Oh, but Acolyte is like a perfect example because when they announced what it is and the director, it's like it's happening. It's like, whereas when they just are like, Kevin Feige has a movie, you're like, where is it? Where?
Yeah.
Although that they did, Patty Jenkins though is the other one.
Yeah.
Like, hey, 1 out of 3 movies ain't bad. That's
doing this like this kind of announcement like actually gets me like sort of into it, right? Because it's not so much we're making an Obi-Wan film, like, or show. It's like, okay, well, what is that? Still, even though you're like, you've announced it's Obi-Wan, it's like saying like, this is 25,000 years and this is the first Jedi. I'm like, that's a cool idea. I wouldn't hate that. And then also, we're going to bring Daisy Ridley back and it's going to be 15 years in the future and she's a Jedi Master. That's a great idea too. but then you're like, oh, and we're finally going to reward Dave Filoni for his hard work and let him direct a movie that somehow relates to all these TV shows. I'm like, yeah, there we go. That'll happen. Like that definitely will. I mean, I hope, but I'm down for any of those things. I think they're great ideas, and the ideas that are outside the box so far in the last 4 years have been good moves, I think,
I think one of the things that was great about what they announced today, and I want to pull it up on my phone, is the new timeline.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so it starts. So it's a new timeline, all logos. StreamYard's weird with what they do, but this is that's it there.
Right
there. Thanks. You just leave it on the counter. Thank you. I got assistance. It's my wife. So it's a new timeline. So it says so Mangold will be Dawn of the Jedi. This is the eras, though. These are eras, okay, in the timeline. Dawn of the Jedi, the Old Republic, the High Republic, Fall of the Jedi, Reign of the Empire, Age of Rebellion, the New Republic, Rise of the First Order, and the New Jedi Order. That's where it ends. So it's Dawn of the Jedi and Rise of the New Jedi Order are the two bookends of it all. And so Mangold, here's why I'm a little bit different on these announcements from previous ones, other than we got this new timeline, which I like better than the old timeline. What I like about it is Filoni, I feel like his movie's happening because I have faith in Dave Filoni getting poop done. Like he's the only one with a track record, a successful track record. Right? Like, he's like, we're doing this, and they do it. And so that's why I have faith in that. The Daisy Ridley one, I'm like 75% it's going to happen. I just feel like don't rush it, get that script done. But Variety's saying it's the first one to come out, and it's like if you can't get the script right, just don't do it. The Mangold one, I feel like the Mangold one too is I'm like 65% on because he's in the Lucasfilm family now with Indiana Jones, and that's wrapping up. That's out in 3 months. That's coming out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm a little bit more optimistic because I said I don't want to hear these nonsense announcements anymore. But like you said, there's something a little bit more tangible about them when they have an idea. Like there's something more. But Rogue Squadron felt that way too. So I'm a little bit skeptical on the James Mangold one more than anything because what if Indiana Jones comes out and everyone's like, "Oh God, that's terrible." Is like the next week is he going to be like Colin Trevorrow though? He had the Book of Henry, remember? And everyone was like, Book of Henry came out and it bombed, and then all of a sudden, well, he's difficult to work with. He's no longer on Star Wars. So I'm worried about that effect happening to Mangold. Whereas I can't remember her name who's directing the Rey Skywalker one. She is Pakistani, but she was raised in Canada though.
Yeah.
It was good. So and she did 2 episodes of Ms. Marvel. So she has nothing coming out that could hurt her chances of directing this movie. That's the good news. There's nothing coming out, but it's getting that script right because this is the one that Lindelof couldn't figure out. And last time we spoke, I was like, oh man, why are they making something when they don't know where it's going? But now, Brock, I've changed my stance on that in a way that I think they know what they want, and Lindelof was the wrong person for that job. Mm-hmm. Not to say he's not a talented writer or anything. It's just for what they were doing, he was the wrong choice.
Charmin Obaid Chinoy is who's directing that what was it called? New Jedi Order hypothetical movie. So that's cool. Yeah, like spent most of her life in Canada. So like, yeah, that's exciting. And Lord knows a female director is never a bad idea. So like, it was funny. I read this out when you sent it. I read it out to Reham while we were getting ready to go to church. Yeah. So it was before we went to church. And I was like, wow, it's this. And she's just like looking at me like, wow. Like it's just being a supportive wife. Like it's just like,
yeah,
I
nothing wrong with that.
I think it's interesting that it's like 3 different time periods, which like why not, And
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, because it's like there's no way that these 3 projects can like overlap in a sense. I mean, if you want to be really creative, which I think Filoni would always be all over, it's like have some weird connector between all 3, and you're like, oh, but like This is an exciting way to start celebration. I if I would be in there, I'd be like, oh my gosh, like so. I mean, they got Daisy Ridley to get there, so she's sounds like she's in, but that doesn't mean anything. So
no, I mean, well, they're talking in the chat about Ben Solo appearing or not. I can't imagine that character not showing up at some point with Rey Skywalker around, but I don't think it would be more than like Obi-Wan and like Return of the Jedi, or just a small little scene. I love the idea, like Rey rebuilding the Jedi. I'm curious if like the idea for this stemmed from the original ideas for Episode 7 with Luke rebuilding the Jedi, or and like in the Legends novels, but instead of Luke, we're using Rey. I'm wondering if they're going around like using that as a template. I'm not saying a recreation or anything, but like a template for it. And like, well, people like this, and this has actually worked. And why don't we do this? And why don't they rebuild the Jedi Order? Because as much as we love Andor and Mando, like at some like Star Wars at some point needs Jedi. It needs the dark side. It needs the light side. At some point, it needs that in Star Wars. Not all the time, but at some point, we're all gonna be like, "What are we watching?" Hey, Rez.
I like Heidi. Heidi's like, she lives in England, so it's like she just walked down the street and got into the convention center.
No, bro. She was going for a walk. She was going for her walk with her little Yorkie, and a freaking black car pulled up beside her and threw her in. Like, you're in the next Star Wars.
Kathleen Kennedy's like, get in.
It's Kathleen Kennedy. Get in the car, Daisy.
It's not violent. It's like Mean Girls, like, get in, loser. We're going shopping, and they go to the convention center. Yeah, I can't even remember what you were saying now. But yeah, though, like, let's do it. We as here at Rebel Scum Podcast and Co. We will stand by our common comment on these things. Like, until we get a trailer, nothing is real. So I'm all for it. I remember reading a couple of Dr. Phasma comics that dealt with the idea of the original Jedi, and I was like, cool, fun, I like it. Stop trying to make fetch happen, Disney Desi. Stop trying to make it. It's not gonna happen. Exciting stuff. It makes me wish I was there.
Yeah,
and
like
then,
this.
And then,
wait, before we go to the end, then can I just say that, like that right there, and we went to a good celebration. We went before the Red Sea parted and fans hated each other, hated Star Wars. But like this might have been the most exciting like hour or 2 hours of any celebration. Like just right there. Before we're going to what we're going to talk about, I just want to say like that was anybody that was there that ponied up the money and went, good on you. Good on you. All right.
Yeah.
And then Brock,
well, bam, Ahsoka first trailer. Do we call this a trailer? Do we call this a teaser? I can never understand.
I call this the best thing we've gotten from Star Wars in terms of a trailer since like the Phantom Menace.
Yeah,
but I do.
It looks so awesome. I have only watched it once, and I know I should have watched it a bunch of times. Oh yeah, I'm all for Yuzan Vong like coming back, like just to have a not mindless, just like crazy race of warriors that just don't care and want to destroy everything. But yeah, the Ahsoka trailer was fantastic. If you're like, it's sort of like if you loved Rebels, you're gonna love the show. And that's from like a minute and a half of trailer. I was like, wow, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's a thing from the thing. That's a thing from the thing. Like Lothcat, their like hideout tower where Ezra used to like live when he was an orphan. Seeing Hera, seeing Sabine, like it looks great. The back of Thrawn's head, you're just like, check mark, check mark, check mark. Here's more money. Let's get this show on the road. And like I remember like the end of that trailer, it's like August 2023. I'm like, wow, August. I'm like, that's like tomorrow. I'm like, that's not even remotely tomorrow. but I'm psyched. What were your thoughts, James?
The Ahsoka trailer was okay.
Okay, very nice.
Psych! It was. Look, I was trying to look at the names of the two dark side users, and I couldn't find them. They have names.
Oh yeah,
that's Ray Stevenson from Rome, from Punisher Warzone, and other things. And it was the Ahsoka trailer it didn't blow my mind. That's stupid, but it was everything that I don't know. It looked perfect. Like I said that a lot today because I saw the Super Mario Brother movie, which was perfect. But like the trailer, when I watched it, I was just like, okay, this everything about this is everything like I think collectively as a fandom, it had everything we want to watch in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like whether they pull it off or not, I can't speak to that. But the trailer itself, I was like, every beat of that trailer, I'm like, perfect. Oh my god, Ezra.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Hera. Oh my god.
Is Ezra actually in this? Did I miss it?
Yeah, he's in a hologram, and I missed it.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and I missed it, and then the actor who portrays Ezra tweeted it out, and I was like, "Holy moly!" There's so much going on. I watched it early on my TV. I watched it early with Aaron, and we watched it, and she was all in on it as well. And she knows nothing about Rebel. Like, if I even tried to explain Rebels to her, she'd tell me to shut up. But she's like, that looked amazing. And I just like the lightsabers coming on, and they were kind of like that orangey red, like old school looking, and then Ahsoka's lightsaber, and then it said like Outcast, Rebel, Jedi. I was like, this show, I mean, it's all Filoni. Like Filoni's a showrunner on that show, and I'm like, this looks perfect. It looks. I mean, is it a sequel? It's the Rebel sequel show that we wanted animated in live action. Chef's kiss, I guess. I just like. I'm trying to find the words to describe how, like August, I'm on paternity leave. So if they could play all the episodes in August while I can enjoy them, that'd be fantastic. It'll probably be like I leave it at the end of them. It'll probably be like the day I go back to work is when it drops.
Yeah, of course.
It'll be like that day. I'm like, you jerks. But yeah, August, I don't like time flying anymore. But August can't come soon enough because it feels like this is the show. I thought Acolyte. Now I haven't seen the Acolyte footage that they shown. I know you haven't.
Yeah.
But Acolyte, I always thought Acolyte was a show we were waiting for, which it still could be. But Ahsoka looks like it's the Star Wars show we've been waiting for.
Like the fact I was just playing the trailer on my other screen here while you were talking, and just without volume, so I could just like see the visuals again. Like, what a flex! They show the back of Thrawn's head, and then like Ahsoka is talking, and he's like, "As heir to the Empire," and I'm like, "Boom!"
Yeah, and
yeah. So like, all the
yeah, like for like all the fans are going, yeah, and all like people that aren't in on that, they're just taking that in as a powerful line. It's still a powerful line if you don't know what it's referencing, right? So it's just who's playing Thrawn? Who's playing Thrawn, bro?
I don't know, but it doesn't matter.
Lance Henriksen.
Wait, is that doable? But like, so I'm confused a little. We see Mon Mothma. So what point are like? It looks like Mon Mothma from Andor era.
Yeah, I think Well, it's Mon Mothma after Return of the Jedi,
right?
Unless that's a flashback. I don't think it. I heard a rumor that she was appearing in this season of Mandalorian, and Ahsoka, and she's appeared. Now we know that she's confirmed in Ahsoka, so the Mandalorian rumor might be accurate. I don't know, but that's one thing I think as fans we're going to have to just turn a blind eye to her aging process. Because obviously you can't get the original actress because now she's 40 years older than she was when she did it. But you can get this actress just to keep playing her and just pretend it didn't matter. And when you watch Return of the Jedi, just don't worry about it. I think that's how we're gonna have to go with it. Because I'm pretty sure
no.
this. I mean, it takes place after, so it's got to be in that. How did Mon Mothma grow younger? Back to tank. There you go. She slept in a back to tank.
That's your answer to everything. Back to tank. But yeah, I'm just like scrubbing through this thing, and like I paused it on our first shot of Hera. So that's Mary Elizabeth Winstead, right? Like, it looks good, but it's like it looks like the cartoon, but then it's its own thing, which is beautiful. Like, I love it. Freaking Mon Calamari in a bomber pilot suit. I'm like, yeah, like it's just almost exciting seeing Seb like last week in Mandalorian. Was that last week? Yeah, that was last week, right? It's just it's great. It would be sick to have some like cool flashback with Hera where she sees Kanan in her mind or whatever, and it's actually Freddie Prinze Jr. Like, he could totally do that. But yeah, man, it looks awesome. Like, everything visually looks wicked. Like, it's like that's one of the things I liked about this episode of Mandalorian. Like, everything looks nice. Like, I know everything has looked nice before, but it's just like, I don't know if they've got some kind of new camera or they're just like color correcting properly. Like, everything looks sleek and beautiful and colorful. Like, this trailer looks awesome. It's like, it looks like Star Wars, but then it's also an aesthetic that's like upping Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know.
Well, I think with the,
No, go ahead.
No, I think with Favreau, I think they're always pushing the boundaries and trying like keep improving on everything. I think that's what it is. It's just, this is where we are, but let's keep progressing instead of just staying still. They keep progressing the technology and the equipment. I think that's what I think is happening.
There's like, I didn't even see choppers in this. Oh my gosh. I should share my screen. Should I try sharing the screen? We won't play the audio. We'll just show the. Why not? Is it this one?
If they cancel our monetization, we'll have to just eat the 30 cents. This trailer, I'm excited to see what the Acolyte footage looked like, but that's not coming. The show's not coming till next year now, so I don't know if we'll get that this year or not. But I'm excited, man.
I think you have to accept my share screen because I see it there, but you have to let it into the show.
Oh, I see it. Hold on. Give me a minute. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I'm not on this anymore.
It doesn't look, but yeah, I didn't even notice this. Pausing this was a great idea. Like look at that. That looks so good. And I see that like there's like a little like this. Is that like the Phantom? Like, or is like
the ghost?
You know, like the ghost had like the little like escape pod thing. Yeah,
maybe.
Like, I was just like doing this and legit. There he is. Look at that. Wow. Chopper. Grunting. Yeah, like
he actually Chopper. I will say this. I mean,
yeah, like look at that. Oh shit.
Chopper looks fantastic in live action. Like absolutely stunning in live action.
Yeah, he does. It's like no, it's not cooperating. What do I do here? Close this. There we go. Oh, I'll just play with no eye.
Things have changed. We should let's do a radio drama.
Look at that. Boom. They're like, yeah, like I know I'm just gushing and not making sentences at the point, but like it looks great.
And Elsbeth. This guy's great. Look at that. Hero.
Yeah.
That is so like
I thought that was Christina Ricci. There you go. Yeah, I did notice that.
Look at that. Oh, warrior, outcast, rebel, Ahsoka. Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Like we even mentioned at the beginning, like this. Are we assuming this is Lothal or somewhere else? Because it has Lothal vibes.
I think it is. I would guess it is because that's where she goes to get Sabine, and I'm at some point I'm thinking that maybe not. Whoa, wait, what? I don't remember this part. Did I miss this part on my first watch? The music should be like, oh, Lucasfilm in red looks dope. By the way, wait, rewind. Was that Baby Yoda?
Yeah.
Why? Who was he with? Rewind it.
It was a loft cat.
No, before. Here, play it.
There, right here. Where?
Rewind. No, back.
That was a loft cat. No.
No, before the loft cat.
I
could be wrong.
The very beginning. You want to watch this over and over for an hour?
Was this Sabine in a loft cat? I don't know. It's a small screen. I'm looking on a very small screen, and I saw ears, and I got excited. I'm a big Baby Yoda fan. Grogu.
Yeah. Probably buffer. I'll pause it when I.
The trailer was for me like it was 9.5.
Why have we never thought of this? We always like play this with audio.
Was that a loft cat there holding up a drink? No, before that. Right before that. I know that's a loft cat. Right before this, it's like
before that. No, it's Sabine's helmet.
That
is that what you're talking about?
That's a helmet. That's a helmet. I can't. My screen's really small.
Yeah, that's her.
Let me zoom in.
Yeah, that's her.
Oh,
that's her Mando.
I see Grogu everywhere I look. I see Grogu of red. What a big day! There's so much happening.
It's just, like it's
full throttle.
So, anyways, I'll stop sharing.
It's a beautiful trailer, beautifully created trailer. I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting a good trailer. I wasn't expecting one that good. Frankly, I was just like, "Oh, this is great." And like it came after the Daisy Ridley announcement. It came after the other 2 movie announcements. It came sometime. What else happened around there? What else did we get? Oh, and then they were like the Mandalorians being shown for everybody. The Andor trailer, season 2 trailer was shown. They're finishing shooting Andor in the summer, so we're not going to get it until next year.
Okay. But that's okay. Like that show's so nice looking that like take as much time to do the second season. Like,
I don't disagree, but that's he voiced them, right? So it would make sense. I don't disagree with you saying take your time. However, I do think these streaming shows, they're frustrating to watch because you never know when they're coming out anymore. Like look at Stranger Things. It's like season 1, season 2, and then 12 years later you get season.
Yeah.
It's like there's no consistency on it at all. And like Mandalorian, like 2 to 3 was a 2-year. We had to wait an off year. It's like, geez, we're waiting, and you don't even know what month it's coming out anymore. It's just so I agree that it's a great show. Take your time, whatever. But at the same time, we need it in our lives. Don't make me forget about Andor.
Yeah.
Because what if we all fall in love with Ahsoka and Acolyte and we're like, all we want is lightsabers, then Andor comes and we're like, I don't want this anymore. I hate you. That will happen. It is Star Wars fans. That will happen.
It's like trying to make fetch happen. Anyways, Lars Mikkelsen, like I don't even know what he actually looks like.
But that's the back of his head.
Star Wars easily could just have someone be Thrawn that looks exactly like Thrawn, and he just voices over top of it. They've done it. It's no problem. But I guess the other big news was, does he look like Thrawn?
He kind of looks like Thrawn.
He has blue skin. How do you not know about this?
He has, yeah. How did you not know he has permanent blue skin? He's actually a Chiss in real life. That's his actual thing. Sooner Thrawn's
I guess.
But he doesn't not look like him. Like he looks like he would fit. I don't know if they'd want him or not. It's not my call.
Be nice to have that voice though, like straight up. Like but yeah, so like first day. And they have 3 more days. Crazy. And then of course we said it's like they showed the trailer for Acolyte, but that was for people in the room until we get, our bootleg, whatever. But like from what I gleaned from the articles was 1, Junis Satamo is cast in Acolyte.
Yeah.
And he's going to be a Wookiee again. So High Republic era, we're gonna maybe assume it's Buryaga from the books. And second, Leslie Headland said she pitched this show as Frozen meets Kill Bill.
I don't know what that means.
I mean, that kind of goes back to like, oh, this is gonna be like a karate samurai.
Yeah, but where does Frozen come into it?
I don't know. I know.
Like, what's Frozen about? Is it because it's like a female lead? Like, what is because she's not gonna. If she could have ice powers, I would be okay with ice powers in Star Wars. I think I'm mature enough to say I'd be okay.
Maybe it's like it's a story of two sisters or two people that are close, and like for whatever reason, one of them isolates themselves and they're just trying to connect again. Maybe because like we have the storyline of like it's a Jedi master with their Padawan and they're hunting somebody bad sort of thing. Like, so maybe that's how it's like that. I don't know. Wouldn't hate a walking snowman. So,
but like Frozen's about like a princess with powers who runs away, and then her sister tries to save her. Oh, so maybe the Jedi who's hunting the Jedi Hunter are related.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right, there we go.
Like a villain that isn't actually a villain.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Frozen meets, I don't know. Well, Disney's here. She could tell us all about how Frozen could tie into. I heard though the only Disney movie she actually truly likes is Toy Story 4. From what I can get.
It's a musical, and they go, "Do you want to see a Mando?"
Man, I'm so excited for this Filoni thing where they're all going to come together. Yep. I don't know how. Like on the big screen is even cooler. I'm wondering if they were contemplating doing it on Disney Plus as Bob Iger said, no Star Wars movies on Disney Plus. But Iger left, Chapek came in. I'm wondering if he said make it for Disney Plus, and now Iger's back and he goes, you make it for that. Toy Story 4, like Forky, was trash, says Disney. Frozen 2 was better, says Sooner Thrawn. I will say this about Frozen 2. The 80s ballad that reindeer dude sings, the bomb.
Nice. Yeah, what a day. And there's more.
and they're back at it tomorrow. I don't even know if they're going, like, are they announcing anything the next 4 days? I can't, like, what the hell is left to tell us?
Well, I saw a picture of Jude Law there. Did they release anything about Skeleton Crew that I missed?
Yeah, it's Goonies. It was pitched as Goonies in space. Nothing really I don't think there was any. Does Brock take requests? Yes, request. I don't think there was anything too new or about Skeleton Crew. Like maybe there was a trailer and stuff played, but we didn't obviously get it.
Yeah,
I'll Google Skeleton Crew right now. By the way, it's been a really busy day, which is funny. Oh, and the thing that stole the thunder from everything today, though, Brock. My daughter is 7 months tomorrow, and she decided to learn how to crawl today.
Yeah.
Which is great until you put her on the ground and you're like, where did she go? Where did she go? And then she's pulling like all the cables. I'm like, stop it. She is on a mission now. She's figured it out.
Nice.
She looked like she was gonna stand and walk. She went on like all fours and like leaned up like downward doggy. And then she just started crawling. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're in for it now. Baby proof the house. Anyway, so that stole the thunder for everything. Filoni film before Mando, or is it after Mando? After Mando, all the shows are going to combine to defeat Thrawn or Gideon Thrawn or Mandalorians or who knows. Maybe the holiday special documentary. It's like the end game of the Mandoverse. Yeah, that's what Heidi says in regards to that. That might be it. But here's the thing. Why do you want to end all those shows? Like, I know you want to do that, but do you want to end those shows though? I don't know when that movie's coming out. So that's the thing, is like, does that movie end all the shows, or do you do that movie and then you do more shows that are leading towards something else? And how long can you sustain that?
Yeah, like, no, why not just? It's like we take it immediately. It's like it has to fit this formula. Like, why can't it just be a story that works in that maybe includes characters from all these shows we have by the time it gets out, and is just his own thing? Like, that wouldn't be that terrible, right? Or I don't know, like Dave Filoni, he does good work. Like, I've never watched something that Filoni's put his name on and be like, that was utter garbage. Like, I thought Resistance was what it was, and it wasn't terrible. It just wasn't up to the same things of what Clone Wars and Rebels did. But like, like we just talked about, this new episode of Mandalorian where it's like, season's solid. It's like, yeah, maybe one episode isn't as good, but like, why would we want a scale of good of excellence always going up? So it's just like it has to outdo it. Like, at some point you're gonna dip down because you're not gonna like. I mean, the amount of times in the last 5 weeks I've looked up news for the Holo News where people's like, this is where they're destroying Star Wars. I'm like, are you crazy? Have you been watching this season? It's fun. And it's like, it's great.
This season's weird because I don't know, and I know I am like on the blacklist because I like Book of Boba Fett. Because I felt this way about Book of Boba Fett too, and they're both to me the binge watching season. Like, I'm totally whatever, but like I feel like there's something to this season, and like last season there was something to it, but it was getting there was like a series. Like every week it was like, we got to go to this planet, but while you're here, do X. We're going to this planet. While you're here, do X. We're going to this planet. What? And it just kept doing that. And this season has expanded beyond that. The characters have all grown, and somehow people are saying that it's less exciting and it has no direction. And I'm sitting here thinking it's the season that's had the most direct. Like Book of Boba Fett, I thought had a ton of direction. Whether you liked where it went and how it achieved it is besides the point. But I felt like it knew where it was going the whole time. And this season, I feel the exact same way. Like, I'm like, this has this whole big story plotted out that is bigger than what we've got in the past. Because I still believe, like, when he hands Grogu over to Luke, their storyline is over. Like, the Grogu, that the storyline that started with episode 1 of season 1 ends. That storyline is over. Now we're learning about their lives. Like, this is now their life. It's because the first 2 seasons, like, how we got to get Grogu to somebody, right? But now we've passed that. Now that they're together, this is now this huge journey, and there's more to it than just those two. And it's Mandalore, it's the Empire. There's a lot going on. New Republic. There's so much happening, and we're learning about all that, and they're expanding on that. I think it's fantastic, and Disney does also like Book of Boba Fett. So we are 2 of the 7 in this right now. 2 of the 7 are here.
Okay, very good.
3 Gleek Play 1 liked it too.
Oh my gosh.
We are a Boba Fett support
But if
group.
you're all here, who's saving the city right now? Yeah. Wow.
I do too.
Celebration was always on the radar, but at the same note, I was like not expecting anything to happen this quickly. I was like, wow. So I hope they outdo themselves each day, but until we know what actually is going to be made, it's just, fun, I suppose.
Glee Play 1 has a good suggestion here. They probably should have taken those Mando episodes from Boba and done a 30-minute edited intro as season 3 episode 1. They could have done that easily, like just been like, hey, watch this. And sooner thrown like Boba Fett after episode 3. That's when it really went into high gear.
Could you imagine if instead of that all Mandalorian episode, or just any of the, like, all you saw of Mando is when he comes to Tatooine and then like Grogu shows up. Can you imagine that they don't explain any of that happening? They're just like, I showed up to help Boba Fett, and then Grogu shows up. And then the first episode of this season shows all the things of how he got to where he was. I'm like,
that
I'd be like, whoa.
That would have been ballsy.
And then, like, how long ago was Boba Fett? Last year?
Yeah, it was
Wait, like,
over a year ago. Yeah.
yeah, like, wait, full year for explanation. Star Wars fans would have gone crazy. You were like, what?
That would have been ballsy. If anyone should do it, though, it should be this Mandoverse. Just take the chance. I like that they took a chance with how they did that, and whether or not it worked, I don't know. I think the whole, well, I have to watch Boba Fett to understand Grogu. I think that ship has sailed now, and people are just like, we're in. At the end of the day, does it really? If you didn't want to watch Boba Fett, that's weird. But at the end of the day, does it really matter how he got Grogu back? Honestly, because if you are watching it and you're not watching Book of Boba Fett, does it really matter? Because all you want to watch is Baby Yoda bounce around with, like, that's all you're really there for if you didn't watch Book of Boba Fett. So does it really matter that they got back together and you didn't get to watch it? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's like, because if you're actually someone who's invested in the story, you're going to watch Book of Boba Fett. I'm not saying you're going to like it. You should, because it's the best thing we've gotten ever. But like, you would watch it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's did we talk about this, or did I hear this on another podcast? They're saying that, like, Luke and Grogu are together for like 2 years prior to him leaving. Have you heard about this?
We talked about it. It was and it was probably another podcast, but we also talked about it. Favreau said that, but no one really knows if he meant 2 years in Star Wars time or 2 years in our time, like where we are. But I think it was Star Wars time. But so for me, time in Star Wars has never made sense. How many years does Empire Strikes Back? It feels like a day and a half when I watch it.
Exactly.
Like, it feels like it's not much time. But you've got to assume that that's been going on for a long time, right? Like, it's like he's not with Yoda for an evening. He's training for a long time, right? So that's what I mean. Like, time doesn't make sense in Star Wars, and it's best not to overthink time in Star Wars.
Yeah, they didn't know exactly. They hadn't fully figured out hyperspace yet. So they're like, I could be in another galaxy, the other end of the galaxy, in like so many parsecs. And it's like, that's like a week, right? It's like, yeah. And then 10 years later, like, no, it'd be like nothing. Like, Octo time. That's amazing. Should we move on to Never Tell Me the Odds, or do you want to do March Madness?
I don't have it, so we'll do Never.
Nice.
I couldn't save it as the file properly, but I'll put it up on Instagram. It is hold on. I could tell you who the winners were last week if you give me a second.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll do that. We'll say the winners, and then I'll put it up on Instagram for our final match. How do you find it? Where is the archive? All right, here we go. Oh, good. My internet's not working on my phone. Oh, wait, what? All right, Anakin defeated Han Solo. And Darth Vader defeated Darth Maul. So it's Anakin versus Darth Vader. Anakin versus himself. This is going to be exciting. Favreau corrected himself and said 1 to 2 years, Brock. So we got Vader versus Anakin coming up on Instagram after we're done. I'll put it up tomorrow morning. After we're done, you go on Instagram and you go in the stories, our stories, and it will be there. And enjoy it, because it's the last one. It's not March anymore, but March Madness expands past it. That's what counts. Do you want to go to the odds?
Let's do it.
But no, I don't have that either. The pods.
Never Tell Me the Odds, brought to you and me by our wonderful people on patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast. If you like what we do, why don't you come and support us so that we can get nice things and have good internet? Because, making a podcast is hard. Sometimes we actually have to plug things in. But we are always gratefully appreciative of all the people that think that what we do is worthwhile, and the following people think we're the best: Heidi Feder, executive producer; Barry Brophy; Dennis Allen; Randy Kenobi; Mary Kristen Aiton; Jeff Wilson; Phil Staniforth; Rez; Scott D; Josh Price.
Matt W. Frank Perkins, Neil Lowry, Cosmic Girl 2, Gleek Play 1, Disney Desi, Charlotte, Kayla Davis, Dale Erdman, and the Den of Nerds. Sometimes we play Vader versus Anakin on Battlefront. Well, this is the real. Anakin Skywalker was weak. Show you weak Vader. I knew that was going to be the final battle, says Heidi. So here we go. Our first Never Tell Me Guys. Thank you so much, Patreon. It is fantastic. From Andrew Fantasia. Andrew Fantasia sent in their first odd. What are the odds Filoni's movie will be called Heir to the Empire?
I kind of hope not. That feels weird. I'm going to go 20%.
I'm Googling if they came up with a name. I thought you were going to take longer and explain why. I really got caught there.
I feel like if you wanted, like, people will get confused. It's like if they put out a book version of it, they'd be like, well, which one should I read? Heir to the Empire or Heir to the Empire? Like the Saskatchewan Rough Riders versus the Calgary Rough Riders.
Ottawa Rough Riders. And now they're the Red Black. There they are, the Red Blacks now. So you don't have to worry. I'm going to go. I also agree it's going to be low. I'm going to go 31% because I agree with you, but also it seems very much like the thing that Dave Filoni of all people would do. So I'm going to go 37%. Heidi says Heir to the Empire. Right there. Rez is coming in hot with 8% and Gleek Play 165. Two ends of the spectrum there. Look at that. Bam, bam. I'm going a little low just because it's already a title of something. And here's why the real reason is they decided to use IG 11 in Mandalorian instead of IG 88 because Filoni said that there's a lot of fans who watch the is going to what was I saying? That he said fans read the legend stuff and he's like he didn't want to ruin any of like what was in their minds. So they changed it. So that's why I could see that happening. And 40%. Okay, there we go. And here we go. Our next odd is brought to us by Heidi, executive producer Heidi. Never tell me the odds. What are the odds that Hellgate, Christopher Lloyd, will appear as a separatist fighting the Empire in Andor Season 2? Hellgate mentioned fighting the Empire, and Saw Gerrera talked about the many factions rebelling against the Empire, including former separatists from the Old Republic. I love the Count Dooku mention. FYI.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Hellgate. What a random name.
He was probably like, I'll do it if you call me Hellgate. And they're like, all right, Christopher Lloyd. You get that.
Isn't that like his name in his character's name in Roger Rabbit? Or was it it's like
Dr.
Judge
Doom. Judge Doom.
Yeah, Dr. Doom.
Judge Doom.
Yeah.
When I killed your brother, I talked just like.
Yeah.
That's my Christopher Lloyd, Judge Doom. I love Roger Rabbit, by the way.
I want to say yes to this, but like I feel like these characters were just made so that they could have cameos in this episode. I'm gonna go 15%.
Didn't you used to be Eddie Valiant? Or did you change your name to Jack Daniels?
Wabam. Waboom.
When he feeds Dumbo peanuts. They work for peanuts. I'm going to go 11%. I just don't think Terry, what's his face, is going to shove Christopher Lloyd in Andor. I can see him being like, I am above this. No Christopher Lloyd. No Christopher Lloyd. Instead, we'll get Judge Hirsch from Taxi. Because I think all Star Wars now needs to go down the list of actors from Taxi. My friends and I literally dressed as Roger Rabbit characters like 2 weeks ago. Amazing. I would. And Dizzy was Jessica Rabbit. I would go as Baby Herman. And our final out today, all 4 of the announced movies will happen. Every time or all 3 of the announced.
I was going to say, what's the 4th one?
The 4th one is the surprise. I kind of was disappointed they announced the Filoni movie. I kind of wish, like, after we got through, like, what, like Ahsoka or Skeleton Crew. Then they're like, guess what? Then they told us, like, with Book of Boba Fett. But Dale Erdman's here from work. He just stopped in to say hi. He didn't say hi.
Nice.
Hi to you. Anyway, Never Tell Me the Odds. All 3 movies will happen.
Gotta go full Brock, because as much as I want it to fully happen, like, who knows, man.
I'm going full Brock as well. I do think 2 of them are going to happen, but the Mangold one, if that Indiana Jones movie does not perform, that's the one.
Like, it's like Indiana Jones. Like, why? Why are we going back? Like, why? Like, Harrison Ford. Like, it is. I do think Harrison Ford like owes somebody money or needs to buy something, because he's in like 2 different shows all of a sudden, and now this is just like, I thought you were done with everything, man.
And he's in the new Avengers or whatever it's called. He's playing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, I love Indiana Jones. I like that trailer, but if that movie stinks or it doesn't do well for whatever reason, I can see them pulling the plug fast. So Mangold, you better get into production ASAP. Like, you better be flying into the Indiana Jones premiere from the Star Wars location, or they're gonna shut you down fast.
Do not put on rollerblades, for the love of God.
Cracker Jacks. I don't have. Okay, we're going top 5, right?
Top 5. Let's do it.
Top 5 from day one, celebration day one. Top 5. My number 5, I'm going to go with, I can't think of 5. I'm going to go with James Mangold doing a Star Wars movie. Not that specifically, but Dawn of the Jedi. I just think it is such a fantastic era to do it. Take it back, news. Star Wars productions are built on hope. That's a great one.
A spark.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with James Mangold, Dawn of the Jedi. I like that time period. I like what they're doing there. Like in the past and Legends and in the writings and stuff. So I'm curious to see what they come up with, and it's very much a clean slate as well.
I'm gonna go number 5, similar to yours, but like seeing a new timeline is always fun, and seeing these new symbols that they hatch for like each thing. Yeah, I like that part.
Yeah, that was fun to see, because it was like, oh yeah, now we got some stuff. My number 4, was there 5 things happening today? What else happened today? What would be my? There was a lot of fun. I'm gonna go with confirmation that Skeleton Crew is Goonies in space.
My number 4 is gonna be it's a mix of Frozen meets Kill Bill. I'm like, wow, what a comparison.
That's my number 3, because I still don't know what that means.
But
it confirms the ninja stuff, and I'm happy for it.
My number 3 is going to be Daisy Ridley back in the Star Wars universe. Like, wow, I didn't think they would actually try to pull it off, but
that's my number 2. It's when she came out on stage, it was like, she wasn't there for lunch 2 months ago. She was there for probably a contract. So I'm gonna go. That's my number 2, because it's for me, whether you hate the sequels or love the sequels, they exist, and it's nice to see that they are continuing on from there. Yeah. And one thing I always say for people that don't like those movies is, don't worry. There's pieces of them, all of those movies, that are good. There's elements of them that you can use to spring forward with, and you can create really amazing stuff with those. And I think Rey is one of them. I think more than Rey,
your audio went away. Well, bam. My number 2 is gonna be I love Chewbacca and Wookiees, so Juna Satamo still working. Let's keep it going. Woo 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 woo. Nope.
Hello, got me?
There you are. Perfect.
I don't know what happened. nothing showed up, and then so I unplugged my mic. All right, number one in the Ahsoka trailer.
Yeah, number one, the Ahsoka trailer. The return of the Rebels crew. Like, boom.
Unbelievable live action. I'm really curious to watch it with Aaron and talk to my parents about it because they're never going to watch Rebels.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I want to know how invested they are. If I want to know how they're going to bring the characters in, if they're going to explain things, or if they're going to treat them like new characters, but you benefit from them if you know their past. I want to know how they're going to deal with that. So I'm very excited to see how they do that. And I just think that trailer was magnifique.
Yeah, it's just like if this is the peak of celebration, that's pretty wild. Like, why would you just drop it on the first day? I don't know. I think there's more coming. So it's like, it's great. And it's like, it's a trailer that I could probably watch once every day until this thing comes out and be like, yeah, this looks good. Like, Rosario Dawson looks awesome as Ahsoka. Like, who'd have thought, like, this cartoon character that was like, we were like, yeah, here's Anakin Skywalker's sidekick, and you're like, okay. And no, look at it.
I hated her.
It was just
I was like, I thought she was annoying when Clone Wars started.
Yeah.
I was like, oh boy, this is annoying. And then but then who would have thought Rosario Dawson could play her? Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
That's who. Because she basically cast herself. Good on her.
Yeah. Super
exciting. Visualize you what you want and you get it if you're Rosario Dawson.
And then I bring my vision board in. It's like it's like I got a live action Ahsoka. So next thing will be me on a brontosaurus. Can you imagine?
Snips.
Well, bam. Well, what an episode.
281. So much good stuff to unpack. We're going to have fun talking about this next week too, I imagine.
Yeah.
Just so much. I think for me, there's so much potential in all of them. And all the stuff that was announced today, that was shown today. It's an exciting, hold on. It was an exciting time. Just getting comfortable. Just an exciting time. I have to do it up here because my daughter's sleeping, so I can't do it where I want to do it. So I'm up here on the futon.
Your baby is making you recline. That's what's happening.
No, it's just this is the chair. It's hurting. I'm old and my back is hurting if I don't sit like that. I'm looking at.
Nice.
Interesting. All right, episode 281. Thank you guys so much for joining us in the live chat. It's been a lot of fun. Brock, it's been okay. We got to talk. I'm glad you got to share your screen so I could see the Ahsoka trailer.
Yeah.
That's a great trailer. I'm gonna watch it again probably. Because I'm a show, I guess. I don't know. 281. Thank you guys. Give us a like and a subscribe. I will be back next week. And until then, Brock, you were always scum.
Rebel scum.
Hi, thanks for watching. Give us a like and a subscribe. Blah, 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 blah.
Hey, scumbag.